Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and in this video, Bitcoin is forming this bullish pattern on the smaller time frames. And in just a moment, I'll be giving you my exact Bitcoin price targets, and I'll be telling you exactly where I think Bitcoin will be going on this correction. How low will we go before we begin to recover and head back to the upside? I'll also be doing some on-chain analysis for Bitcoin to explain exactly why this dump happened, because obviously I was expecting Bitcoin to hold above the all-time high level once it broke above that level, but there's a hidden reason as to why we actually dumped as of recent. So yeah, I will be getting into that this video, so make sure you're watching the video all the way through so you're not missing out on any of this valuable information. And of course, I will be including my Ethereum price targets later in this video, and I'll be showing you a brand new Ethereum price pattern that is currently forming in the Ethereum charts. All that and more in this video. So yeah, once again, make sure you're watching this whole video all the way through, and if all of that sounds good to you, make sure to leave a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on for more videos like this one. But yeah, with all of that out of the way, let's get straight into what this video is about. So right here, we're on the Bitcoin US dollar chart on the 1 hour chart, and obviously, as you can see, this is just a short-term crash in the Bitcoin price as of recent. From the all-time high down to this recent low, we've corrected around 14% to the downside. So this isn't really a massive correction. This isn't a massive crash. Honestly, this is just standard Bitcoin price action at this point. And any dip that we're seeing on the chart at the moment, for all of you that are out there waiting for a dip to buy in at lower prices, this is your chance to buy in at those lower prices. But yeah, anyway, if you look in the price, as you can see, we got a low and a lower low, but in the RSI, we got a low and a higher low. So this right here, this is a bullish divergence, and what it basically means is just in the short term, the selling pressure has stopped. And so basically we're set to either at least go sideways or perhaps slightly to the upside. And that's so far what we're doing. So yeah, I'd expect just in the immediate short term, kind of some sideways action. But if you take a look here, we could potentially be forming a inverse head and shoulders pattern on the 1 hour chart. As you can see here, we got this left shoulder, we got the head, but if we come back down a little bit lower, around 54,500 roughly, and then come back up to the neckline, that would be completing this inverse head and shoulders pattern. And this type of pattern, this is a bullish pattern, and it's a bullish reversal pattern. So if we do see this final right shoulder actually play out, and if we break above the neckline, then that would be extremely bullish for Bitcoin. Now, once again, this pattern is not confirmed whatsoever at the moment. I'm just letting you guys know well in advance, so that if we do continue to form this right shoulder, you're going to be fully prepared for the breakout at this point right here. And the neckline right here is coming in at around 56,000 US dollars approximately. So if we start breaking above 56k, 56,500, I would say, if we start getting above that level, then that's how you'll know we're beginning to break to the upside out of this downwards resistance level on the 1 hour chart. Once again, pay attention to the volume levels. Make sure we're getting a nice spike in volume whenever we get a break above resistance. And so yeah, if we see something like that play out, that's definitely extremely bullish. But obviously, so far that is not confirmed whatsoever. For example, if Bitcoin just continues a little bit lower and makes a lower low here, then that would invalidate this pattern. And yeah, we'll be set to see a bit more downside price action in that scenario. And zooming out to the 4 hour chart, as for my downside targets for Bitcoin to get supported at, if I just draw out the Fibonacci retracement tool from that low at around 43k up to the all-time high, as you can see here, Bitcoin came really close to the 50% Fibonacci level, coming in at 52.5k. And this 52.5k level, once again, the 50% Fibonacci level, I was talking about that just yesterday on the channel, and I said that it's extremely likely that Bitcoin finds some strong support at around that area. But if we break below the 50% Fibonacci level, then we'd almost certainly be coming down to the 61.8% Fibonacci level, which is coming in at pretty much exactly 50,000 US dollars. And that 50k level, honestly, that would be the absolute lowest that I would expect Bitcoin to go on this correction. So honestly, if you're someone looking to buy into Bitcoin at these lower prices, simply dollar cost averaging in around these regions, anywhere in these regions just here between 50,000 and around 54,000 is a great buy if you're holding for the long term. Also, if the price does make its way down to the golden pocket, the 61.8% Fibonacci level, once again at 50,000 US dollars, by the time the price actually gets down there, the 50-day EMA will come up to meet the price. And yeah, throughout this entire bull run, Bitcoin Bitcoin has pretty much held that 50-day EMA as support. So as of right now, that 50-day EMA is coming in at around 48,000 US dollars, but it's rising every day. So yeah, once again, the absolute lowest I would expect Bitcoin to go on this correction would be around 50,000 US dollars. And honestly, we might not even get down there. That's just my lowest price target. Once again, in the immediate short term, our price target is the 50% Fibonacci level, which is at 52.5K. And now as for my Bitcoin on-chain analysis to explain why this dump actually happened, because obviously a couple videos ago now, I was saying that it is unlikely Bitcoin comes back down below that 58,000 all-time high. And that's because it was unlikely for Bitcoin to come back below that level, because that level was an extremely significant level for Bitcoin. But this is one of the two major reasons why we've had this recent dump just over the past couple days. I just had to hide my face cam just so you can see this more clearly. But as you can see here, back when Bitcoin topped out at this high just here at around 58,000 at the previous all-time high, right on that day when we topped out, as you can see that massive spike on that red line just there, that's showing the massive Bitcoin inflows into Gemini wallets. And so right now there's an entire debate over on Twitter that's basically arguing whether this data is real or not. But even if the data is not real, something like this is enough to scare investors to start selling some Bitcoin, and that starts liquidating some of the highly leveraged longs, and it's just a cascading effect from there. It's just a ripple effect. But yeah, as you can see back here in February, we had that massive inflow of Bitcoin onto Gemini, which is one of the major crypto exchanges, obviously. And so anytime we get a major inflow of Bitcoin onto an exchange, basically what that means is someone's getting ready to sell potentially. And so yeah, obviously right back then when that happened, we entered a massive correction for the next couple weeks, as you can see. And yeah, just recently over the past couple days, we saw another massive inflow of Bitcoin onto the Gemini exchange. In one single hour, this Bitcoin inflow onto Gemini was almost 19,000 Bitcoin, which equals over 1 billion US dollars. And so obviously that type of inflow onto the exchange is enough to spook some investors and some traders to start selling off. Now it's important to mention that this $1 billion worth of Bitcoin wasn't the direct reason of the sell-off, it was an indirect reason for this sell-off. Because if someone tried to actually sell $1 billion worth of Bitcoin onto Gemini, there's actually not even enough liquidity on Gemini to soak up that $1 billion sell order. So in theory, if someone sold that much Bitcoin in one go on Gemini, technically it would take the price to zero for a short amount of time, because once again, the order books just aren't that thick. We don't have $1 billion worth of buy orders over on Gemini. So that pretty much confirms that it wasn't actually that person with $1 billion worth of crypto that was selling the Bitcoin and making the price go down. It was simply people selling Bitcoin in fear of that happening. But it's pretty much confirmed, as you can see here, that this entire inflow of Bitcoin, this $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, wasn't just a single whale transferring onto Gemini to sell that Bitcoin. It was actually a whole bunch of BlockFi wallets transferring onto Gemini. And if you don't already know, BlockFi is in partnership with Gemini. I'm actually pretty sure that Gemini actually at least owns part of BlockFi, if not all of BlockFi. So yeah, the two of these crypto companies are affiliated with each other anyway. And so what's happened here is most likely this is just an internal transfer between BlockFi and Gemini. So it's not necessarily a whale moving money. It's just the exchange moving around their liquidity between BlockFi and Gemini, once again, because those two are in partnership. So when you actually look into it, this itself is not really bearish. We're not expecting a sell-off of $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, but just the fact that we saw this type of inflow into Gemini, because we saw something similar back here that sparked a retracement in the Bitcoin price. Obviously, the same happening right now got enough people scared to start selling off. And when we start seeing a small sell-off in the short term, that begins to liquidate the over-leveraged longs in Bitcoin. There was actually around $1 billion worth of long positions that got liquidated. And so obviously that also sparked a bit more of a sell-off in the price. And that takes you to where we are right now in this retracement. All right, now heading over to the Ethereum US dollar chart, we're on the 4-hour chart for Ethereum. Actually, I'll switch it down to the 2-hour chart just to show you this massive level of support. The 1,730 US dollar level has been holding the Ethereum price as support. As I mentioned in my last video, once again that this level will be some massive support for Ethereum, and so far that's playing out perfectly because yeah, once again we saw massive support at this exact level back here around a week ago or so, and yeah, now we're currently seeing some support come in at this exact level once again. Right now Ethereum is squeezed between these support and resistance levels. So obviously the support once again is coming in at 1730, and the resistance level up here is coming in at 1,880 US dollars. So that 1880 US dollar level obviously is some massive resistance because we've already confirmed that level as resistance. And also just zooming out further, drawing out the Fibonacci retracement tool, that's actually a massive Fibonacci level. As you can see here, that's the 78.6% Fibonacci level, once again coming in at 1880. Now drawing out the Fibonacci retracement from that low at around 1300 to the recent high at around 1950, we did actually see a quick wick down to the 50% Fibonacci retracement level, which is coming in at around 1,700 US dollars. Once again, I mentioned in my last video at around the 1,700 US dollar level, ranging up to the 1,730 US dollar level. In around that range there, that will be some massive support for Ethereum. And yeah, if we begin to break below that Fibonacci level at 1,700 US dollars, then the next massive support for Ethereum is coming in at 1,620. That's the 50% Fibonacci level, and that would also be coming in confluence with the 50-day EMA. So yeah, this 1,620 US dollar level, that's going to be some massive support for Ethereum if we do see more of a downtrend in the short term. And honestly, the absolute lowest that I expect Ethereum to go on this correction is once again the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level, which right now is coming in at around 1,550 approximately. And yeah, quickly zooming out to the 4-hour chart to show you a potential bearish price pattern that is forming in the Ethereum US dollar chart. So once again, this is on the 4-hour chart, and as you can see here, we are potentially forming a head and shoulders pattern. So right here, close to a week ago now, we had this left shoulder, and at this recent high, that was the head, and right now we are potentially forming the right shoulder for the head and shoulders pattern. So if the Ethereum price comes back up towards around 1830 to 1880, in around that sort of price range, and if the price comes back up there and turns around at that price range, it comes back down to this neckline coming in at around 1730 once again, that would basically be completing the head and shoulders pattern for Ethereum. And once again, head and shoulders patterns are a bearish pattern, and now this pattern once again is not confirmed at all. We are still yet to see the right shoulder for this pattern, but I'm just letting you know well in advance that this pattern is starting to form on the 4-hour time frame. And yeah, if we do form that right shoulder and come back down and break below the 1730 US dollar level with big volume, once again pay attention for the volume anytime we break a significant level on the chart. But yeah, measuring out the exact price target for this head and shoulders, if we break below that 1730 US dollar level, the price target for this level is coming in at around 1,530 US dollars. So if this head and shoulders plays out, that would take us perfectly into the golden pocket just here, the 61.8% Fibonacci level, once again coming in at around 1530, 1540 approximately. So yeah, if we do see more of a breakdown below around 1700, that would be the sort of price target that I'll be looking at for Ethereum. And anywhere at around that price range, honestly, anything below 1,600 US dollars, if you're buying Ethereum to hold for the long term, anywhere down at that sort of price range would be an exceptional buy if you're holding for the long term once again. But yeah, this is about all I have to say for this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like on the video down below. And if you have any feedback, questions, or suggestions for me, please let me know in the comment section down below. And also let me know your favorite altcoin, because from time to time, I do tend to add your most suggested altcoins towards the end of these videos. I don't do it every single video, but I try and do it here and there. But also just be careful, because in the comment section, there can be some scammers down there. So if you see any comment or reply down there with like a phone number, email, Telegram, anything like that, please do not contact anyone that you find from the comment section whatsoever. Even if it looks like it's a reply from my channel, but if it's giving you a phone number, that is not me. That is someone pretending to be me. So yeah, just please leave those comments alone, and as soon as I see them, I just delete them. But yeah, once again, that's just about all I have to say for this video. I really hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next video.